to make him less of a man so she can control the marital affairs will die. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, China, is this not too much? Everything here, they did not even say we'll kill goats, we'll kill fowl. Everything here is die. Everything death. It's not too much for sexual congress.
You make it light. Sexual sin, make it light. For those of you that go to church and read the Bible, a woman was almost stoned to death for sexual sin. It took Jesus himself to rescue her. So I don't think it should be taken lightly. But again, I've tried to go through equity customs and tradition, equity laws, and I don't see where death is the penalty for adultery. I don't see where it is. But again, extreme times will call for extreme measures. I remember sometime after the Nigerian Civil War, because there was a proliferation, or there are lots of guns in the hands of people who had just come back from fighting the war. Armed robbery increased in the country. What did the military government do at then? By military fiat, they said the penalty for armed robbery is death.
Death.
Because extreme times. Sometimes you need to, drop the sledgehammer to ensure that things, don't get totally messed up. So maybe in that community, I tried to reach the Elepokodu Community Development Council to hear from them why they took these extreme measures, but nobody got back to me.
Yeah.
But so it's possible that they had tried it the way the laws of the land say, and it's getting out of hand. So they decided to go extreme. So the second part now, which I'm sure we'll answer in the course of the program, is: do you believe that these things will happen? If you don't, try it out and see.
There's problem. There's problem. Because, okay, let's start with this, all right? Now, the first thing here is the infidelity part, right? Which is, okay, any married woman, right, who's having an affair. And like you said, the story in the Bible, yes, a woman, was almost stoned to death. And, in those traditions, it was not unusual. But here comes, the third, fourth, and fifth part, China. Everything has death as punishment. A man sleeps with his community brother's wife. And, in local parents, community brother means, as long as we're from the same community,
yes,
we are brothers. Even if we may not be from the same father and mother.
That's what they use.
Yes.
They said community brothers.
Yeah. If that happens, death. Any man or woman who tries to break this oath will die. And once again, you have to ask, they are making oaths on behalf of a lot of people who probably have no business with that said tradition, with that said culture, with that said belief system.
No, you do. I mean, you talk about an Elepokodu man who does this. If you're from Elepokodu, you're linked to that system.
But I let's imagine I'm an Elepokodu man, or I'm anywhere, right? Imagine you are from Obakri. As we're sat down here, you hear a message: any Obakri son who doesn't wear blue socks on Friday, mosquito will bite him.
Okay. You're trying to make light of the situation to make a point. Now, let's leave these laws. Let's forget about the death sentence. Jude, is it good to sleep with your brother's wife?
No one's saying it is.
So why don't we just be upright? Now, listen, right? I know people that come to River State. They have a lot of things they say about the Korean people. A lot are not really nice things. I know because I'm in Korea, I hear what people say about us. They're not really nice things. But we shock you to know that Korea, to the Korean and the quick culture, marriage is a lifetime commitment between a man and a woman. It's a lifetime thing. And adultery, right? It's on the same level as murder.
That's weird.
Yes, committing adultery is put on the same level as murder. So if my wife is guilty of adultery, for example, it's looked as if that she wants to kill me. If I'm guilty of adultery, it's looked like I want to kill her.
Oh, really?
It's on the same level as murder.
No, I mean from the man, because there's a message here, China.
Yes.
Lydia is asking, how about the men? How about the men who cheat on their
That's a
wives?
woman, right?
Yes, a woman.
You see, women always write this thing. And I told the woman one day, you can go on Twitter and open a hashtag and trend. We are talking serious issues here. Let's leave women thing. It's stated there. If a man does it, he dies. Read it again. It's not directed to women alone.
Let's read it
there.
For the avoidance of doubt, right? Let's read it. It says, any man that sleeps with his fellow community brother's wife will die.
The man will die, not the wife, not the woman. So why are you asking about what?
Any woman that will later be married to an Elipopodu man, the same wrath will be applicable to her if she defaults. So if you were not married to an Elipopodu man before, and then you now one day saw one fine boy, you now marry him, you now cheat on him, you will die.
Yes.
Any man or woman who will not go the extra mile to try and defile this oath.
Don't go further. The first thing you read states that the men have the same punishment. So all these women liberation Beijing conference that they do here, I really don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
But it's a serious matter here.
Very serious matter.
It's serious in the sense that, we are living in a time where people are talking about, let's hold on to our traditions, let's hold on to our practices, let's not lose our identity. But in the face of what is contemporary, you can understand how a lot of young people who have read this, who have listened to this, may look at this like, this is the 21st century. How does adultery equate to murder? And I can understand how serious it is.
Let me explain how and why. Right now, marriage is really taken seriously. Right now, for a man to get married, it has almost 4-5 stages of marriage that you go through. We've talked about equal marriages here before on the show last year, in June last year, if you remember. There are about 4-5 stages, right? And so a man is proud of his wife. Now, you know why I say as like murder? It's because culturally it can cause breakdown of law and order in the community, adultery, and that will mean that if I find out that my wife is say sleeping with Jude or Tony or Peter, I could go as much as attacking Jude or Tony.
Yeah, we see it even in the West. We see in the West they have what we call crimes of passion.
Exactly. So it can cause breakdown of law and order. So it's taken very seriously. And for you to know, adultery is a married man sleeping with a woman that is not his wife, or a married woman sleeping with a man that is not her husband. So it goes both ways. That's adultery. But it is worse when it is two married people sleeping with each other and they are not married to each other. It's worse that way.
But if they're not married, no laws have been broken.
No, listen. I said two married people.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Sleeping with each other.
Yes, okay, all right, fine.
But not married to each other.
Not married to each other. Yeah. Aha, okay. All right, so yeah, I think I understand that notion. In fact, in some communities, like where I'm from in Edo State, the reason why they really frown at adultery is because there's a belief that when the man marries the woman, there are contracts, spiritual contracts that are being held by the woman, whether the woman believes it or not. And so it's often said that, if you want to get a juju man down, a powered man, a protected man, you go through the wife. It's so serious that even in my other community, because I'm a Joe, right, when the men want to go to war, right, when they want to go for some serious mission, it doesn't have to always be war, but when there's something serious, they even tell them, stay away from your wife, stay away from your girlfriends. Yeah, still, don't do this, don't do that, right? So I can understand how serious it is.
But why death?
But so that's because when this thing came out last week, I spoke with some young people and like, but why death?
Okay,
and this is 2024.
I've also asked why death. That's why I was careful to say maybe extreme times, calling for extreme measures. Now,
but what extreme things have happened?
Extreme because maybe there's been a total breakdown of morals in that community. Just maybe. Now, I know that there is somebody, or maybe 100 people from Elipopodu listening. I wish they can reach out and explain better to us. Now, I wrote down some things. Now, what the Korean people do, right? In the case of adultery, now somebody said, what about the men? Why just the women? Somebody said that even though in error, but normally in these kind of things, right, the laws actually favor the man. And are we out of time?
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, you know what? We'll go on the break. We have just 20 seconds so the break comes up. When we come back, Chana and I will have maybe about 5 or 6 minutes to lay down the various views and the angles I would like to address here. And we can start reading and listening to your voice notes and also your calls after the break. Stay tuned. Our WhatsApp line is blowing up. Send us your message to 009-030-6416, You can also send us a voice note, all right, with your view on the subject matter. And then you can get onto Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo, PH at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. We're going to have the headline news shortly. But if you're just joining us, we are talking about traditions and relationships, where they intersect. Let's find out. Because in April, just a few weeks ago, the community in Rukwaku called Elekwakwadu, right? It's a clan. They said they've placed a law for their community alone. No, please listen, China. I think it's very fair that we emphasize. It's for their community alone. All right, they've placed a law to avert further matrimonial calamities in the land. That this process was guided by an oath that states that any man who is married to an Elekwakwadu man, any woman rather, married to an Elekwakwadu man that has sexual congress or relations with any other man who is not her husband, while the husband is still alive,